Chapter 14. The Secrets of Socializing with Your Danish Colleagues. When you work in a Danish office, you'll often find yourself invited to impromptu in-office social events with your Danish colleagues. Someone has a birthday. Someone's having a baby. Someone has been with the company for 10 years. Someone's going on vacation the next day. And they almost all involve cake. Cake is very important in Denmark. Cake builds bridges. Cake makes friends. And when there's cake on offer, as an international, it's a good idea to show up and accept it. When I first started working in a Danish office, I made a big mistake. I said no to cake. I would think, no, I have work to do at my desk. I have to finish this report. Or maybe, well, I'm eating healthy. It's swimsuit season. I don't need any cake. So I wouldn't take a break. I wouldn't eat the cake. That was wrong. That was poor cake etiquette. In-office socializing is the way to get to know your Danish colleagues, because you probably won't hang out with your colleagues much outside work. This is your big chance to chat about things not directly related to the job. It's all about the cake. Even if you really can't eat cake for some reason, show up, get a cup of coffee or tea, and chat for 10 minutes. Congratulate the cake giver on whatever the occasion might be. This makes you seem like part of the team, part of the group. The fact is, Danish companies often have a big problem with the silo effect. One colleague doesn't know what the other colleague is working on. A cake break is a chance to casually find out what that guy across the room actually does all day. It's good to get to know your colleagues. They can be one of the highlights of working in Denmark. I've had some great colleagues over the years, really wonderful people. It's a great way to get to know Danes, practice speaking Danish, and learn about Danish culture. But you should not expect your Danish colleagues to become friends outside the office, or private friends, as the term is sometimes translated directly from Danish. You should not even expect to see them outside the office. In other countries, Germany, England, Japan, people often get together with their colleagues outside the office, go out and drink a beer, or play golf. This is unusual in Denmark if you're over 30, or even younger if your workmates are already married with children. Danes like to spend their time with their established friends and family networks. Time outside of work is family time. Time off. When you say goodbye to your colleagues on Friday afternoon, you probably won't have any contact with them until Monday morning. There are a few exceptions. If you like to run, someone will be eager to sign you up for the company running team or external running events at which your company competes with other companies. Some companies also have competitive cycling teams, which have largely replaced golf as the best way to socialize with the power brokers. Many companies have a staff party, to which spouses and partners are not invited, once or twice a year, usually one around Christmas and one in the summer. I hated these things, because I'm not a party animal. I don't drink much alcohol, but I recommend going anyway, just to show you're part of the group. If you don't drink alcohol at all, pour yourself a soda and hang out at the party with the people who have to drive home. They can't drink alcohol either. After a certain point in the evening, usually around 9 p.m. or so, everyone is so drunk that no one really notices whether you're there or not. You can make your excuses and quietly slip out. As long as you've shown your face, you've demonstrated that you're part of the group. Your boss is also likely to show up at these parties and may make a fool of herself after too much alcohol. The Danish way is to come to work the next day, say "tak for sidst," and otherwise pretend as if nothing embarrassing happened. At some companies, the entire staff eats lunch together, or at least the entire department. Usually, around noon, someone will walk through the work area and say, "Vi spiser," which translates to, "We're eating." You are expected to put down your work and join the team for lunch. In a big company, this will usually be in the company canteen. You pay a monthly fee to eat there, usually not very much, just enough to avoid it being taxed as a benefit. And the food is generally good. When I first arrived in Denmark, the dishes were almost always traditional Danish food. Lots of pork. But these days, there are a lot more diverse options. Small companies often have a van drive up and deliver one meal per day for everyone to eat. This could be good for a while, but it can get repetitive because the vendors that provide the food usually get into a groove and stay there. One of the companies I worked for had a vendor that made stir-fried dishes, and I think I ate stir-fried food every day for 3 months. It was a bit much. Anyway, I sometimes found it difficult to eat lunch with my colleagues. When it's time for me to take a break from work, I like to relax and clear out my mind, maybe respond to personal emails and texts, or just be quiet for a while. That's not really what's expected in a Danish office. It can mark you as someone who's not really part of the team. My compromise was to eat with colleagues 2 or 3 times a week. That seemed to be enough. Some offices also share bread and coffee for an hour or so on Friday, with everyone taking a turn to stop by the bakery and purchase the buns. There are often departmental announcements at these morgenbrød sessions, so there's no way to avoid them. Around 3 p.m. on Friday, someone at the company may uncork a bottle of wine or put out a few beers for the team. This is fredagsbar or Friday bar. It's less likely to include business content, but it's still a good way to socialize with your colleagues. Back to the cake. At some point, it will be your turn to bring cake for your colleagues. Maybe it's your birthday or you're going on vacation. It's okay to buy your cake at one of the excellent bakeries in Denmark. You don't get extra points for homemade cake. As a matter of fact, while some Danish homemade cakes are excellent, like dream cake with brown sugar and coconut topping, some are awful. Homemade chocolate cake in Denmark tends to taste like a cardboard box. So feel free to buy your cake instead of baking it yourself. No one will think any less of you. There's one more rule you should know about eating cake in Denmark, which is that it's considered rude to eat the last piece, at least without asking everyone else first if they would like to eat it. But that's not always possible if, say, the last bits of a cake are sitting in the communal kitchen. This happened to me once when I worked at Carlsberg. After everyone had eaten a slice of a wonderful birthday cake, there was one last piece on the kitchen counter. Of course, no one wanted to take the last piece, so the first person with a sweet tooth sliced the piece in half. And the next person sliced that half in half. And again, so all that was left was a thin little slice that was almost transparent. But hey, nobody had taken the last piece. They were all good colleagues who knew their cake etiquette.